Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 Morning News.
Good Sunday morning to you. Coming up on 10:30 here as we look live over the harbor. A little bit gloomy, but it's a good day to be in the house. Thanks for being with us this Sunday, April 30th. I'm Taylor Stewart. Let's get to your forecast. Meteorologist Amy Aronson with some green behind you.
Yeah, a lot of green has moved in and taking over a soggy start to your Sunday morning. We've got rain coming down pretty much everywhere right now, and this is going to continue as we head through the afternoon with on and off showers today. Upper 50s to near 60, that's where we're at. Temperatures haven't changed a whole lot. They'll pretty much stay put today with the clouds and the showers ongoing. So as we head through the rest of the day, plan on more rain. I think we are just tracking on and off showers through the afternoon, potentially an isolated thunderstorm this evening before the rain clears out of here right around sunset tonight. Now, coming up in just about 10 minutes, I'll let you know exactly how much rainfall we're expecting today. And then we're going to look ahead to the first week of May, and I'll let you know also what to expect for that. Taylor?
Sounds good. We begin this morning with a city in crisis. A 30-year-old was shot yesterday evening in northwest Baltimore. This as we learn more about one man who is now dead and another that was injured in a double shooting that happened along Holly Avenue and Harlem Avenue just last night. It comes on the heels of another fatal double shooting that happened Friday. Two men in their 20s were shot along North Glover Street in East Baltimore. One of them died. The other is in the hospital. Now, this past month alone, gun violence has impacted dozens of people. The number of non-fatal shootings is actually higher than it's been in months prior. Maxine Stryker has more on the concerns that people say the numbers will spike as more and more young people become victims.
April has proved to be a violent month throughout Baltimore City. From a quadruple shooting that left 3 dead in northeast Baltimore to 2 teenagers shot Easter Sunday at the Inner Harbor and a 12-year-old boy killed in South Baltimore. This month, at least 69 people have been shot, left living with the permanent scar of violence. According to our data, that's the most non-fatal shootings in a month since last summer. In total, 191 people have been shot and survived this year in Baltimore City. That is less than this time last year. But among those shot and survived, 32 juveniles ranging from 9 years old to 17. As crime historically increases in the summer months, Mayor Brandon Scott is hoping a new youth curfew will curb violence among young people.
There has to be some accountability. There has to be correction in behavior. And again, if a kid is not getting that at home, it needs to come from somewhere, or we're going to just see a continued growth in youth violence.
Set to go into effect Memorial Day weekend, but former Deputy Police Commissioner Jason Johnson is skeptical it will make a difference.
If it's a Band-Aid that the mayor feels like he needs in the short term to get through summer, fine, let's give it a try, but I don't expect it to have much of an impact at all. In fact, it could have a negative impact.
With police hundreds of officers short, he worries it could put them in jeopardy.
The first BPD officer that has to use force to enforce the curfew, which could happen and likely will happen, and there's the viral video goes out of something that doesn't look good, and police using force never looks good, then everything is going to change. And it's foreseeable.
In counties under pressure, Baltimore County Police are investigating a shooting that happened along Cranbrook and Halesworth roads. They say officers responded to that area around 5 o'clock this morning where they found a person suffering from a gunshot wound. If you have any information about this, give detectives a call at 410-307-2020. And as a violent April winds down in Baltimore, crimes like murders, carjackings, home invasions, those are on the rise in surrounding areas. Vincent Hill spoke with one legal expert about the crime that stems from the city that's bleeding into the county, and it's making criminals feel like they can get away with anything, anywhere.
A murder in Dorchester County, an uncommon crime for the area. The suspect from Baltimore City.
Crime in Baltimore City is seeping into every neighboring county.
Through Vignaraja, served as special prosecutor in that murder. The victim, Deontay Belcher. His killer, James Reddick. Neither man strangers to Baltimore police.
They've been emboldened by their positive experience in the Baltimore City criminal justice system, getting away literally with murder, and they're taking that approach to other jurisdictions.
Reddick, a known violent offender with several pages of criminal history, given probation for most of his crimes. Vignoraja says criminals from Baltimore City feel they can get away with just about anything because Baltimore has historically been soft on crime.
In counties across Maryland where you see spikes, especially in violent crime, carjackings and killings, you are seeing more and more links to Baltimore City criminals.
Fox 45 looked into Vignoraja's claims and found that according to Anne Arundel County Police, a Baltimore City teen was arrested for home invasion earlier this month. And in Baltimore County,
crime knows no boundaries.
The newly sworn-in police chief, Robert McCullough, already acknowledging a problem after the murder of 16-year-old Trayshawn Harmon from Baltimore City and a rash of violent crimes in the Towson area. Vignoraja says until changes are seen and not just talked about at the state's attorney's office, Baltimore's neighboring counties will continue to suffer.
Individuals that went through the revolving door of the criminal justice system in Baltimore City and now are taking their operation elsewhere. And until Baltimore City cleans up its mess, we're making it harder for the rest of the state.
Okay, we know about the importance of training your body, but what about training your mind? Just ahead, the new health club that will help you strengthen your mind.
And not only am I tracking some showers today, we're also looking at a marginal threat for severe weather, 1 out of 5 on our threat level scale. I'll explain exactly what this means and when we are tracking potential storms today in a couple of minutes. It's 10:36. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News.
All right, more jitters in the banking sector following news First Republic Bank may fail. Meanwhile, some mixed inflation data released on Friday is putting the Federal Reserve in a tough spot as they weigh yet another interest rate hike. National correspondent Audra Allen Shaw reports from Washington.
Commerce Department data out Friday shows the rate of inflation cooling somewhat in March, but still too high for comfort. Personal consumption expenditures, which measures overall spending by U.S. households, was up 4.2% last month compared to March 2022, a solid improvement from February's reading of 5.1%.
See you again soon.
Less reason for optimism when volatile energy and food prices are taken out of the equation to measure core PCE inflation. That barely moved, now at 4.6%.
Especially services, and even more specifically non-housing services, they just remain stubbornly expensive. And, we're talking about things ranging from medical care to getting your hair cut, travel.
These numbers are far from the Federal Reserve's target inflation rate of 2%. They've already raised interest rates 9 times since March of last year to slow demand, but they haven't had the desired effect yet. And some economists are skeptical they ever will, in part because of the labor shortage.
This goes to show that the ability to collapse an economy that is so short of workers is so difficult that I think eventually maybe the goalposts start to change.
Change for the strong demand, like a surge in summer travel plans, that's shaken conventional thinking.
People are making changes because of inflation, but I would have thought that a lot of this pent-up demand would have been exhausted.
Another complication for the Fed, public sentiment. Economists fear the longer inflation stays high, the more it will become ingrained in expectations. A new Gallup poll finds almost half of Americans view economic conditions as poor, while 75% say the economy is getting worse. The Fed working with a mixed bag of data, with recession risks hanging on their every move. In Washington, I'm Audra Allen Shaw reporting.
All right, Baltimore Sagamore Pendry teamed up with the Fells Point Farmers Market on Saturday. Folks got to shop the market that was lined by the hotel's infinity pool and take in some of the views there at the Inner Harbor. The Fells Point Farmers Market is going to return to its regular spot on Broadway Square next week. Plenty of smiles at the Oregon Ridge Park in Cockeysville as the Kennedy Krieger Institute hosted its Roar for Kids fundraiser festivities. It featured a 5K and a fun run to raise money for children and young adults with disabilities. The main event was a mascot challenge featuring a local favorite like the Oriole bird and the Loyola Greyhound. Kennedy Krieger's annual fundraiser brought in more than $3 million since its inception in 2005. Okay, a different kind of health club here opening up at Joppa Grand Market in Joppatown, Mental Fitness. It offers meditation, journaling, talk sessions for folks who are trying to stay healthy in addition to some workout classes. The owner says your mental health is a precursor to everything, and if you get that in order, your physical goals will fall into place.
Our physical bodies, our physical world, our physical surroundings is a manifestation of the mental. And so a lot of times we're walking around with mental obesity, but we sit in the physical form. We can't figure out why we can't lose the physical weight because the weight is up here. It's just that we've been taught and conditioned, we got to do all this to lose it here. You lose it here first, you become motivated, but more importantly, disciplined to lose it here.
The owner says nobody's mental health is the same, and she works on creating a unique plan for everyone who comes inside. A Newtown High School student is taking home our Prep Player of the Week right now. We've got the performance that earned her that honor just ahead. And storms, they're already in our region. Just ahead, what you can expect for your first week of May. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News, all local, all morning. One of the latest teaching trends includes getting rid of grades and homework. National correspondent Kayla Gaskins joins us from Washington with this push towards what's being called equitable grading.
My dog ate my homework, turning into a line of generations past as schools increasingly do away with giving homework altogether as part of a push towards achieving equity in the classroom.
We've sort of created this rat race and a competition all about just getting the grade rather than focusing on the learning itself. And that favors, in some cases, those kids who have the most resources.
Equitable grading looks different from district to district. In Washington State, the Olympia School District nixing music class for fourth graders in the name of fighting racism.
We're a school district that lives is an entrenched and is surrounded by white supremacy culture.
A school in Minnesota doing away with giving students Fs. Kids can also retake tests.
We realize that not every kid gets it the first time.
Instead of pushing kids forward,
He says the initial flight test was going expected and even slightly exceeded his expectations. The first week of May, starting off with rain and storms. After the break, meteorologist Amy Aronson will let us know what we can expect this work week in our 7-day forecast.
.56 on this gray and gloomy Sunday morning. Looks a little damp and dreary still at the Inner Harbor. We've had some heavier rain already pushed through. Now we're actually going to see a little lull in the action, but still intermittent showers today. So far from a perfect day for anything outside. We also can't rule out the potential for some isolated storms later this afternoon or early this evening. With the clouds and the rain, it's a cooler day in the mid-60s. Some spotty showers will actually kick off the month of May, so we're not done with the rain just yet. I think tomorrow overall a drier day. We will enjoy some sun in the morning. Just some very spotty showers dotting the area during the afternoon with highs in the low 60s. After that, scattered showers Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the very cool mid and upper 50s. So much cooler than that normal high of 71 there as we head through midweek. Spotty showers again on Thursday as that system wraps up, and after that things are looking up for the start of the first full weekend of May. We've got some sunshine Friday and Saturday and some warmer temperatures too. We are breaking back into the 70s by the end of next weekend. Something to look forward to.
It looks like our April showers didn't get the memo that tomorrow's May 1st.
No, but we should have some beautiful flowers after all this, right?
Absolutely. That has to be the payoff.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Thanks for joining us here at Fox 45.